Nuremberg, Germany, once the shrine city of the Nazis, ravaged by the war Hitler launched on the world, ironically the scene of the final chapter of his Partners in Conquest. American units were on security guard outside the Palace of Justice during history's most momentous trial. No chances were taken on any escape plots. Carefully scrutinized were the passes of the 400 spectators and court attendants. For in the courtroom, the first of the Nuremberg trials was being held before the International Military Tribunal set up by an agreement signed between the U.S., Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. Judges and prosecutors of all 4 countries took part in the trial, where the accused were 22 individuals thought to be the most guilty of the surviving Nazi leaders. Facing justice at the proceedings, which began in November 1945 and ended September 30th, 1946, were Hermann Goering, Joachim von Ribbentrop, Wilhelm Keitel, and the other partners in war crimes. The tribunal heard Hermann Goering and company blame all on Hitler, but Nazi films projected on the courtroom screen showed how they fawned on him in their days of power. To the prisoners in the dock, the motion pictures brought back scenes of Hitler shortly after the attempt on his life, for which hundreds of Germans were executed. Rudolf Hess, one-time deputy to Hitler, couldn't take it as the hour of judgment was reached. He seemed to be cracking under the strain. Perhaps it was a sympathy act for the benefit of the gallery. Before the reading of the verdicts, Rudolf made a theatrical exit, but he'd soon be back. Now, with their voices heard in 4 languages simultaneously, interpreters made it possible to listen to the proceedings in English, Russian, French, and German. The justices delivered their judgments. Hess received a sentence of life imprisonment. Ribbentrop and Keitel sentenced to death by hanging. Thus it went. 12 defendants to die, 7 given prison terms, and 3 acquitted. One of the 2 Americans on the tribunal was former U.S. Attorney General Francis Biddle, here reading from the judgments. Sentenced to die, Goering was later to beat the hangman by taking his own life. Sharply in contrast with Nazi justice, the defendants received a fair trial for their war crimes. Most of the evidence presented to the tribunal was in the form of documents, but 116 witnesses gave oral evidence. 83 witnesses permitted to be heard for the defense. Diplomat Franz von Papen, who was acquitted, received congratulations. Also acquitted Hjalmar Schacht, Hitler's one-time financial brain, and Hans Fritzsche, radio propagandist. They found mercy, a word missing from the vocabulary of the master criminals of Hitler's time.